Episode 83. I'm Billy. That's Tim. This is All the Everything Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to our summer short series. I hope you're having a great day out there. Again, these have been fun episodes. People are really enjoying them, and we've got more stories for you today to sit back, relax, and have a good time. Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
All the everything. 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 Podcast! Welcome to the madness.
Well, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. As always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Tim Sawhook, and I'm joined by Billy, the sexy man going to Alaska sometime soon, Parchman.
They're going to be like,
How you doing?
It's good, man. I'm great. They're going to be like, it's been like 3 weeks. He's been saying he's going to Alaska. And here, we're doing bulk recording. So it's only been like yesterday. I promise I'm going to Alaska soon. It might be August by the time I actually am there.
Yeah, we are straight up. He is going to Alaska. We're trying to get rid of him here. We try to keep these things as evergreen as possible. Sometimes real life slips in when you've been recording 1,000 episodes. So anyhow, beyond all that, we've got great stories for him today. Billy, what are we talking about, my friend?
Okay, we've all been there before. There have been things in your life that have happened, and they'll flash back in your brain and just make you cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Those most awkward moments. Oh my gosh, just like, ooh, they just kind of take the breath away from you. And today we're sharing some stories on this summer short series about some just awkwardness, just things that just don't go as planned, that kind of, you've been there.
Yeah. I automatically, when we think of stories like this, or when I thought about them, I automatically go to that story where you told that girl you liked her on the bus and she completely rejected you, and you just sat there in shame the rest of the ride home. I'm sorry that your pain was my laughter, but you have to go back and listen to that in another episode. We don't have time to get into all that, but that's what reminds me of. You already heard that. The gist of the story was rejection after expressing love. Am I right?
Yes. Don't do it in the beginning of a trip. Do it at the end.
Oh my gosh. I don't even think I knew that was at the beginning of the trip this whole time. Oh my gosh, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, like you said, we've been through these awkward moments and things like that. So, Billy, what do you got for us today, my friend?
All right. Well, Jake Mercer had exactly 3 goals for his 10-year class reunion. Number 1, look successful. Number 2, act confident. And number 3, absolutely under no circumstances, do not, and I say do not, embarrass yourself in front of Emily Carter.
Oh.
Which, honestly felt kind of reasonable, because back in high school, Emily Carter was the girl. She was the student council president, the homecoming queen, the captain of the dance team, the kind of person who somehow looks graceful drinking from a water fountain. Meanwhile, Jake once sneezed so hard in chemistry that he headbutted the microscope. So, everybody remembered them for that.
Yeah. Always, yeah.
Yep. So when the reunion invite popped up on Facebook, Jake almost immediately ignored it completely. But then his buddy Trevor messaged him, "Bro, Emily Carter is divorced now." And then all of a sudden, Jake found himself buying a brand new t-shirt at Target at 8:45 p.m. on a Thursday.
Dang. That's classy. And
right.
That screams success. Target t-shirt.
Yeah. Now, Jake's life wasn't bad. He worked in pharmaceutical sales. He had a decent apartment, a respectable car. His hairline was still hanging on for dear life, but it was there. It was there. Things were going okay. But on social media, if you get on there, everybody from high school are now like fake superheroes. Every guy's either, a CEO or entrepreneur. They're living their best life. They own a boat. you know, tons of different things on social media. And Jake's biggest accomplishment that week was successfully cooking chicken without setting off the fire alarm. So,
He had a very low bar.
yeah, winning, right?
Yeah.
Still, he decided that this reunion was his moment, a reset, a comeback story. He practiced conversations. We talked about that in the mirror,
Yes.
kind of like a psychopath. Wow, Emily, great seeing you. Oh, that's too stiff. Emily, no way. Oh, too aggressive. Then he accidentally finger gunned himself in the reflection, and then he just gave up entirely.
You got
Ooh,
this.
you got this.
And he blows on
Oh,
his finger like a gun
yeah,
and puts it back in the holster. Boom.
that's right.
Let's
That's
get
how you
it.
got it. That's right. Let's go. All right. So the reunion was held at this fancy event venue downtown that used to be an old warehouse, but now had exposed brick and Edison bulbs everywhere
Mhm.
because that's legally required of downtown places now,
Of
right?
course. That sounds great.
Every town, yeah. Um, so Jake sat in his car for a full 10 minutes before going in. He gave himself a pep talk. You are a grown man. You pay taxes. You know how insurance works. You can handle this. Then he stepped out of the car and immediately realized he still had the giant slim fit sticker on his new shirt from Target. Oh, great start. But at least he caught it before anybody saw.
At least it didn't say husky on it, you know.
Yep. Oh, God bless. So he peeled it off and walked inside. Now, the room was packed. There was music playing from their senior year, and suddenly everybody was pretending they always loved these songs that they used to always make fun of. I feel like
Mhm.
Nickelback. Uh,
Poor
that's a
Nickelback.
yeah, I
Poor
know they get
Nickelback.
a. I like
God bless 'em.
Nickelback. I've never had a look at this photograph. Sorry. Um, so Jake grabbed a drink and some liquid courage and started
Mhm.
making awkward small talk with people he barely remembered. Every conversation followed the exact same formula. Man, you look great. You too. How many kids you got? Two? Oh, nice. Then silence. Dead silence. Like two strangers trapped in an elevator.
Yeah.
At one point, this guy named Brent came up and talked to Jake for 7 minutes before Jake realized that Brent thought he was someone entirely different. And at that point, it was too late to correct him, so he just went with it.
Yeah.
And
When you're
and
that far in,
yeah, it just okay, now I'm this dude.
I am now this guy.
Yeah, this is now my life.
Yeah.
But then it happened. Emily Carter walked in. Slow motion, perfect hair, perfect smile, like she was in her own movie. She had lighting and everything. Jake nearly inhaled an ice cube. Trevor appeared beside him like an evil little goblin. Bro, this is your shot. Hype man, I like him. I like
Yeah.
him. Jake panicked instantly because confidence in your car is very different from confidence standing 10 feet away from your high school crush while
Yeah.
sweating through your brand new Target slim fit shirt.
I hope it was like a light color.
Oh gosh. Still, he decided to go for it. He walked over smooth, calm, collected, and he walked directly into a decorative plant. Not a
Oh
little
my
bump
gosh.
either. Full shoulder, full collision, and the plant tipped over dramatically, and dirt exploded everywhere like a landscaping grenade. The
Oh my
room got
gosh.
quiet. Jake froze. Emily stared. And a
Oh my
woman in
gosh.
heels whispered, "Oh my gosh." Jake tried to recover, like, wow, guess that plant had it coming. Silence, dead silence, not a single
Oh.
laugh. Not even Trevor, not even his hype man, Trevor. Come on,
Trevor
Trevor.
set him up. Trevor set
Come
him up.
on. Come on. Crickets. Now, Jake quickly helped clean up the dirt while wishing for some sweet release of death. But somehow Emily smiled. Still clumsy, huh? And Jake nearly passed out because she remembered him.
Yep.
I mean,
Not in a good
yep.
way, but
Yeah, but hey, they started talking. And surprisingly, it was going great, like genuinely great. Emily laughed at his jokes, asked about his job, told stories about her life. They actually had chemistry. And Jake thought, this is unbelievable. Then came the photo booth. Worst invention ever created. Photo booths are where dignity goes to die. Trevor dragged them over there. Come on, reunion photo. Inside the booth, it was cramped and awkward. Jake squeezed in beside Emily. I see what Trevor's doing. I like it. While Trevor shoved ridiculous props into everybody's hands. Someone gave Jake a fake mustache stick. Someone else wore a Viking horns. Then Trevor yelled, "Kiss pose." And everybody just laughed.
No.
Jake laughed too, but Emily leaned closer and jokingly puckered her lips towards him.
Oh,
Now,
no.
clearly it was a joke, but Jake's brain started short circuiting because for one horrifying second, he thought, wait, this is actually happening.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
before logic could stop him, Jake leaned in, like for real, towards her face. But at that exact same moment, Emily turned away laughing. So instead of this cute movie moment, Jake accidentally kissed her ear. Not like brushed it. No, full committed contact. An audible kiss sound on her ear. The
Oh,
booth
man.
went silent. Trevor made a noise like a dying walrus. Emily's Emily's eyes got huge. Jake pulled back so fast that he slammed his head into the
Oh,
side
my
of the
God.
booth, and then flash. At that exact moment, the camera went off, capturing what looked like Jake had just suffered a concussion while Emily just stared in absolute confusion. Trevor collapsed in laughter.
Of course, that
People
was
out,
Trevor.
yeah, Trevor, man. People outside the booth heard the commotion, and someone asked, "Did he just kiss her ear?" And somehow that sentence spread throughout the entire
Oh,
reunion at
man.
light speed. Wait a minute. Complete strangers were grinning at Jake. A guy at the bar yelled, "Ear man!" Jake just wanted to leave Earth, not the building, Earth. But somehow that night just kept getting worse
Oh, no.
because Emily, still trying to be nice, was like, "It's okay, it was an accident," which somehow made it infinitely more humiliating.
Oh, of course.
Jake went to the bathroom to try to regroup. He stared in the mirror. "Dude, you kissed her ear." And he splashed water on his face. "You are almost 30 years old." But then, because the universe hates people sometimes, the automatic sink turned on unexpectedly and blasted water directly onto the front of his pants. Oh, perfect. Now it looks like he just peed himself.
Jesus.
Jake used about 40 pieces of paper towel to try to dry him off before returning to the party like a defeated raccoon.
Uh,
Trevor saw him and immediately yelled, "Brother, no!" Jake considered just fighting him. It's going down, Trevor.
it's going down, Trevor.
Yep. Then came the final disaster. The reunion organizer announced karaoke, and people started chanting for Jake because apparently humiliation is now a group activity.
Oh, my gosh.
Jake refused at first, but then Emily smiled and said, "Oh, come on, do one song." Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you got it. And because Jake had already lost all dignity, he agreed. Huge mistake. He picked "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys because drunk confidence is dangerous.
Oh, so dangerous.
At first, it wasn't terrible. People were clapping. Jake loosened up. He started dancing a little bit. But then he got a little too confident. And during
Oh.
the chorus, he attempted some kind of dramatic spin move. His shoe got caught on the microphone cord, and
my
Jake absolutely launched himself off the small stage, and not gracefully, not even cartoon funny, like full on human collapse. And the microphone flew out of his hand, screeched through the speakers, and landed in somebody's spinach dip. The music just stopped. I just hear this record,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and everyone stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jake is laying there flat on the floor looking up at the ceiling. while
Oh
the
my God.
entire reunion just gasped. And from somewhere in the back of the room, Trevor yells, "He still got it." And then the whole place just burst into laughter, like real laughter, like legit, not making fun of you kind of laughter. Just like,
Right.
I mean, what else can you do? So Jake laughed too. And Emily walked over to him, still laughing so hard she could barely breathe. And she helped him up and she said, "You know what? This is the most fun that I've had in a very long time."
Mm,
And Jake blinked. He said, "Really? Yeah. Everybody else here is pretending their lives are perfect, but you're the only real person in this building."
mm.
And somehow that awkward disaster of a night turned into what seemed like perfection. They talked outside the venue for 2 hours. No
Mm.
pretending, no fake stories of success, just honest conversation. And before she left, Emily smiled and said, "Next reunion, maybe aim for the cheek instead of the ear." Jake groaned so loudly, and to this day, according to Trevor, Jake still has the nickname in their hometown. Not Jake, not even Mercer, Earman.
Oh my God. That
uh,
is crazy. That's so funny. It's so funny. Y-
Earman.
Airman. Oh my God. That I thought you were gonna say they accidentally kissed on the lips. I'm like,
Oh
that
my
would have
gosh.
been but as awkward as this dude is, obviously he
Yeah.
kissed her ear, and then
And,
banged
and
his
you know,
head
if he
and
made a kiss sound, you know how loud that would have been on her ear?
oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt, because it was, like, aggressive too, because 'cause he's been
Oh,
dreaming
yeah.
about it his whole life.
Oh my gosh. This was the moment. I understand that moment.
Yeah.
I understand exactly the butterflies he was feeling. Oh my gosh.
Mhm. And then you
Man.
have the guy who's supposed to be, like, your hype guy slash giving you bad ideas. There's always that guy. Matter of
There's always that
fact,
guy.
my story might have one of those guys.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That was great. That was great. You had me dying laughing the whole time.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, there are embarrassing moments, and then there are moments so catastrophically cringy that your body physically rejects the memory of it happening.
Oh my
Moments
gosh.
that you wake up at 3:17 in the morning 15 years later. Moments where your soul leaves your body and refuses to return. This is one of those stories.
Yes.
And the reason this one hurts so badly is because everyone listening has done some version of this before. Maybe not this extreme, but we've all mistaken kindness for flirting at one time or another.
Oh, God bless.
Somebody laughs at your joke a little too hard, maybe made
Mhm.
eye contact for half a second too long, remembered your name once, and suddenly your brain starts directing like a rom-com starring you. Like you're like,
Mhm.
this person has it. They want me. So this is what happens when fantasy crashes directly into reality at 100 miles an hour.
Ooh.
So there's this guy, we're going to call him Greg. Greg is in his early 30s, single, pretty normal dude, works some office job he doesn't love, but also doesn't hate enough to quit. Every morning before work, Greg stops at the same little local coffee shop, not Starbucks, one of those trendy neighborhood places where the menu is written on the chalkboard. We know those.
Yep.
Everybody has a forearm tattoo, and
Yep.
somehow a muffin costs $9.
Yeah.
Now, something you need to know about Greg, he's a routine guy. Same time every day, same table, same order, large vanilla latte, blueberry muffin, extra espresso shot because apparently surviving adulthood requires pharmaceutical levels of caffeine, right? We all been
Yep.
there. Even Billy's
Yep.
nursing one drop of a can of Dr. Pepper left because he needs that caffeine right now.
Whoop, whoop.
That was like a little insight to his life. Okay. And every morning, the same waitress takes care of him. Her name is Emily. Now, Emily is extremely friendly, like aggressively friendly. Big smile every time he walks in. Good morning, Greg. She remembers his order. She asks about his weekend, laughs at his jokes, writes little smiley faces on the receipt for him. Sometimes she even brings his coffee over before he asks. Now, listen
Oh.
carefully. I know. Isn't that sweet, Emily? So you
Mhm.
got to listen carefully now because this is where the male brain becomes absolutely delusional. This kind of
Mhm.
sounds familiar from the last story. Because in Greg's mind, this isn't customer service anymore. Oh no. This man thinks he's living inside of a Hallmark movie, right? He sees himself as a star and this is all happening. So at
Mhm.
first, it starts small. Greg notices she remembers his order. Interesting, he thinks. Then she laughs at one of his dumb jokes. Now his confidence grows even more. Then
Mhm.
one morning she says, "You weren't here yesterday. We missed you." Oh no, his brain explodes. That sentence ruined this man's life because one of those words entered Greg's ears, logic packed its bags and left. And he's like full blown crazy in love.
Oh my
Now he's
gosh.
sitting at work, staring blankly at spreadsheets, thinking, "We missed you." And he's like, "We missed you." Like, she really loves me. So this man starts replaying the interaction like it's a Zapruder film, right? He's breaking down
Yeah.
everything. He tells his coworkers, and instead of helping, they make it worse because male friends never de-escalate these situations ever. His buddy Chad immediately goes, "Bro, she wants you." It's either Trevor or Chad, right? There's a
Right.
Trevor or Chad in every story. So of course Chad says that. Chad also thinks every waitress, bartender, cashier, gym employee, dental hygienist is secretly attracted to him.
Mm.
Chad lives in a permanent state of romantic misinformation. Now Greg starts reading into like literally everything. Emily gives him an extra napkin. Well, that means something. She says, "See you tomorrow." Greg hears, "I dream of building a life together." And
Mm.
it's completely delusional. One day she touches his shoulder while laughing. That's it. That's the moment. This man mentally starts naming their future children.
Oh my gosh.
And look, we can laugh, but human beings are unbelievably good at creating fantasies about absolutely nothing,
Yep.
especially lonely people, especially people craving connection. Sometimes all it takes is one person being nice consistently, and suddenly your brain starts building castles out of breadcrumbs. Now, here's where the story enters dangerous territory. Greg starts timing his mornings around seeing her. He spends longer getting ready, changes shirts twice before leaving for work. One morning, he even Googles signs that your barista is into you.
Oh my gosh.
But actually, if you start typing that into Google, that is a real thing. People actually do Google that. And the internet, being the internet, feeds a delusion. Every article says things like, "She remembers your order. She smiles when she sees you. She initiates conversation." Buddy, this literally is her job, though. But Greg doesn't want to hear that. No, sir, this man is in too deep now. Then one Friday morning, it happens. Emily walks over holding his latte and says, "There's my favorite customer." Oh, no, God, no. She loved me. Ladies listening right now already know where this is going because women understand something men often do not. Friendly does not equal interested. Let me say it again
Right.
for the ladies. Friendly does not equal interested. But Greg, you know what he heard? He heard wedding bells. This man floated into work like he was in a music video. He tells Chad, and Chad, being the human gasoline can, goes, "Bro, if you don't ask her out, you're an idiot." So he's getting confidence from this other idiot who's pumping him up.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now Greg is trapped, Billy, because once you have your friends hype you up, you have to commit. You have to. Even if your instincts are screaming from the inside, "This is a terrible idea." But Greg prepares. Over the weekend, he mentally prepares himself. What's he going to wear? What's he going to do? And I need everyone to understand how much this man committed to the bit. He bought a nicer jacket. He got his hair cut. Practices practices the casual conversations in the car. No gun fingers in this story though. And pew, pew. And at one point, he reportedly rehearses different ways to say, "Maybe we should grab dinner sometime." Like he's prepping for like a hostage negotiation. Meanwhile, Emily is probably just trying to survive a double shift and maybe pay for algebra homework. Monday arrives. Greg walks into the coffee shop nervous as hell, hands sweating, heart racing, acting like he's storming Normandy instead of buying coffee. Emily smiles immediately. "Good morning, Greg." And unfortunately, that tiny moment gives him the confidence boost he needed. Now his brain is fully committed. There's no turning back. He orders, she laughs at another dumb joke, writes on the receipt, and Greg notices another smiley face. That stupid little smiley face might as well have been a marriage proposal in his mind. So finally, this man makes his move. He takes the receipt, pulls out a pen, and writes, "Maybe we could grab dinner sometime," smiley face Greg, and leaves his phone number. Now already this is horrifying because hitting on someone while they're working is risky territory, right? They have to be nice to you. And deep down, Greg kind of knows this, but he's convinced this is different because in his head, they have a connection. So he folds the receipt dramatically, hands it to Emily, and says, "This is for you." Then leaves. Oh my God, the man walked out like feeling like he was Ryan Gosling in a romantic comedy, right? So he gets into his car grinning like an idiot. Music sounds better. The sunshine is brighter. Birds are singing. This man has just changed his life. Now, here's the part where cringe begins slowly crawling out of the walls like a demon. Greg spends the entire day checking his phone. Every buzz, adrenaline, every notification, panic. But nothing comes. Still, he stays optimistic though. Because Chad says, bro, she's probably nervous. Chad's got all the right moves. So, of course, Chad says it. Chad has a reputation of never helping anybody really in life, but he tries to. So, anyhow, it's been a day of waiting and wondering if she's going to message back. So the next morning, Greg walks into the coffee shop very confidently, and immediately something feels very, very wrong. You know those moments where the atmosphere changes, like your body senses danger before the brain catches up? That. The staff is weirdly quiet. Nobody says good morning. Nobody smiles, and he's thinking in his head, oh God, no, 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 what's going on? Greg's stomach drops immediately, but he keeps walking, trying to act normal, trying to pretend he doesn't feel the social tsunami approaching him. And then he notices something else. Emily isn't there. She's nowhere to be seen. Now, at this point, Greg's brain starts scrambling for explanation. Okay, maybe she's off today. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she's overwhelmed by her feelings for him, because that's what Chad said. Chad knows everything. Because this man still hasn't realized what's happening. Then suddenly, another employee walks over, and according to the witnesses there who worked there, this poor guy looked deeply uncomfortable, like he had been chosen against his will to deliver devastating news. And he quietly leans into Greg and says, hey man, just so you know, Emily's only 17 years old. ... Now, I need everyone to kind of imagine the sound of Greg's internal screaming at this moment. Because in that exact moment, every organ in his body failed simultaneously. His ancestors left him. His spirit's gone. His skeleton almost escaped through his mouth. 17, like freaking 17 years old. This grown man thought he was starring in a rom-com when really he was accidentally wandering into an HR violation video. Witnesses said Greg turned like completely pale, like medically concerning pale, and immediately started apologizing, like rapid fire apologizing, like the kind of apologizing where words don't start forming correctly. He was like, oh my God, I didn't know. I swear I thought I didn't. Oh my God, I didn't know. Now, to be clear, Greg genuinely didn't know. Apparently, Emily looked a little older for her age, but he never asked, because why would normal people like asking people like, how old are you? Like in a coffee shop, right? But you know what? None of the good intentions, none of that matters now because the damage is done. And somehow it gets worse. The employee then says, yeah, she gives smiley faces to everybody on every receipt. Inside his head, it's like Mortal Kombat. Finish him! Fatality.
There's fatality.
Roll credits.
You just got ate by a dragon.
Yeah, exactly. That little smiley face Greg thought was romantic destiny. She drew it on every receipt. Probably muscle memory at this point. Meanwhile, Greg built an entire Nicholas Sparks universe around it. And here's the worst part, if it's not bad enough. The entire staff discussed this immediately. Like immediately the second Greg left the coffee shop. Emily probably walked into the back holding a receipt like, guys, you need to see this. And every employee gathered around like it was breaking news. The cook knew. The dishwasher knew. The manager knew. Even some DoorDash driver was standing around. He even knew about it before lunch. Somewhere in that building, someone absolutely said, bro thought customer service was soulmates. And poor Greg, this man realizes it in real time, and he can never, ever come back to this coffee place again. Ever.
It's done.
This coffee shop is gone forever. You can't recover from this, right? Yep. You can't casually walk back in the next week like, hey, can I still have that blueberry muffin? As Billy said, nope, that ain't happening.
Nope.
Your face is now part. Yeah, go Starbucks, exactly. Your face is now part of employee training. There's probably a nickname for you like receipt guy, latte predator, or smiley face Greg. You're legendary now in the worst way possible. And honestly, the reason this story hurts so badly is because it taps directly into one of the deepest human fears, misreading a situation. Like thinking you have a meaningful moment only to realize you invented the whole thing. That's brutal. And almost everybody has experienced some version of it. We all have done something or read the situation wrong. Not necessarily with a waitress, but maybe someone being polite, someone replying quickly, someone complimenting you, someone laughing at your jokes. Human beings are desperate to feel chosen. Sometimes we see signals that clearly aren't there. And occasionally, those misunderstandings become so catastrophic, you have to switch coffee shops permanently. So, to this day, nobody knows what happened to Greg. Some say he started making coffee at home. Others believe he changed cities entirely.
Yep.
There are rumors that he now flinches anytime someone draws a smiley face anywhere near him. Because one thing is certain, somewhere out there's a coffee shop still laughing about the guy who thought a teenager writing "Have a nice day" meant "Please pursue me romantically." And honestly, this story will probably outlive us all. That's a
Gosh.
story of Greg.
When you said 17 years old, I audibly gasped. Like that, I was not expecting that at all. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Like,
Oh my gosh.
the cringiness of that moment.
It wasn't even the fact that she didn't want anything to do with him, or like he got rejected just to be rejected. It was the
No.
fact that it would be criminal.
I mean,
Goodness gracious.
if there's any most embarrassing stories than the ones we told today, most awkward ones, sure, I'm sure there are, but these are pretty awkward and cringy.
Mhm.
That she's 17. I saw your face like melt when I said
Oh
that.
my
Like,
gosh.
no, nope,
Oh man.
not
Nope.
today.
Nope.
Well, if you guys have cringy stories, awkward moments, share them with us. We want
We
to
would
hear
love
them
to. Yes.
and share those on the podcast. Tell them in our private group chat. Why don't you join it? Because it's exclusive and it's awesome and it's amazing. So, Billy, where can they connect and share some of their most awkward stories with us?
Yeah. Hey, the best place is going to go to Facebook. Just let us know. Hey, there's a safe place, on the internet.
Who would know?
Yeah. Share it there. Just type in All the Everything Podcast. Follow along. Go to Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. That's right. What else? What is the other thing? Yeah.
What else do we have?
What else? Ah.
No, yeah, these stories were great. I love telling them. I couldn't wait to give you the punchline of this one. Like, it just kills you.
Gosh.
And the kiss on the
Oh my
ear of the
gosh.
other story, all the things. With that guy went through a lot that night.
Yeah, he did.
But
Yeah, he did.
anyhow, I think bottom line, the thing is, don't trust your bro who's not like your real bro. It's telling you that everyone didn't do and you should go for it.
Yeah.
Just maybe think for yourself in that moment. If you can.
Yeah. If you have a friend named Chad or a friend named Trevor,
Gone.
yep. done.
Gandhi. All right. Well, these stories were so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed them. And we can't wait to see you next time on another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.